Good morning, good morning, good morning, good Wednesday morning. It is a wonderful day, even though it's raining outside, even though it's a little gloomy. It's been on and off, raining and gloomy all week. But you know what? Today is Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesday. And I just want to share a little bit of wisdom that I've received with you. My name is Tiani Alexander. I am the CEO and founder of Real Life Ish LLC. Welcome to my YouTube page. Welcome to my YouTube page. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like this video, share this video. Please subscribe to my page. I am trying to get my subscribers up here. So what I do, Real Life Ish, is a business that motivates people. I motivate people. I encourage people. I try to help people, try to share knowledge and information with people. I talk about topics, things that are going on in our community and in our lives, things that concern us as a people, period, all people. So welcome to my YouTube page. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. What I want to talk about today is everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm talking about this because I'm in a transition right now. With everything going on. I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and March 11th, 2020, we got our first coronavirus case in Arkansas. And everything from that point to this one looks like it has gone like, whoo, everything's happening. They sent us home from work. All of a sudden, if you had underlying conditions or lived with someone that had underlying conditions, or someone that was 65 or older and all this stuff, okay, we want you to go home till we figure this thing out. And then all of a sudden, on June 15th, I had worked at home, I think, from like March 23rd to, need my glasses on, I can't really see my notes over here, but from March the 23rd to June 15th. June 15th, everybody that worked where I work was required to come back to work essential on site, no matter what. Even if you had an underlying condition, even if you live with someone with an underlying condition, it was understood you need to get your behind back to work. Nobody's working from home anymore. Come back to work. Everybody's essential on site. And so with this essential on site issue, they gave you the option to, okay, if you really want to work from home or you want to be approved to work from home, you need to give us the documentation from your doctor. And then we want to know what kind of medications you're on and what your conditions are. And we'll let you know if your condition is bad enough or if what you have going on warrants you going home to work. Okay. And so I went back to work on June 15th because I left because I am in my parents' house all the time. I, do the meds for my dad and I help my parents out a lot. And so both of my parents are over 65 and they had underlying conditions at the time. And so, today we're talking about everything happens for a reason. It's Wisdom Wednesday and we're talking about everything happens for a reason. And so this COVID-19, this coronavirus, whatever this is, it's happening for a reason. And you have to figure out what it is that you are supposed to grasp and to get in this time. Okay? So everything happens for a reason. Even when you don't understand why something is happening, it's happening for a reason. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me. I'm a practical person. I like to understand things and I like stuff to make sense. So when things don't make sense, it's like my brain, you know how you see a little computer and the computer's working and it's getting all this information, and then something or a program or something is trying to put that program in that computer, and it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't marry up, or the computer can't take it, and it just and it explodes because you're trying to make me do something or understand something that just doesn't make sense. And so that's one of my pet peeves. So even when you don't understand what is happening, it's happening for a reason. My next point is, even when you don't want something to happen, it's happening for a reason. We go through things in life all the time. The birth of a child, the loss of a child, the loss of a loved one, the divorce, a breakup, boyfriend and girlfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend now, and boyfriend now. People go through things, friendships break up, and business opportunities and business partners always don't see eye to eye. So we go through things in life, and we go through things that we don't want to happen. But even though those things are happening, they're happening for a reason. They're happening for a reason. And so I just want to share a little bit about what happened to me. So I started my weight loss journey probably, and I'm going to say, I think it's been about 5 years, or I'm coming up on 5 years. And I had lost weight before. I had, back in 2009, I think I was, 2008, I was 186 pounds, and went to the doctor for an annual visit. And he said, Miss Alexander, I need you to lose 24 pounds or whatever. He said, even at 186, he was like, I need you to get your weight down. Your pressure's up. It's hereditary. You got things going on. And so he was like, I need you to lose this certain amount of weight. And I'm like, okay. So, I started doing what I needed to do to try to get healthy and lose this weight. And I did. Within a year or so, I had gone from 180 pounds to 150 pounds. Okay. And so I felt really good, and I felt like I was in the best shape of my life. It was still a lot of stuff going on. I was married at the time. My kids were probably in 2009. Let's see. I'm just okay. So in 2009. Okay, so my kids just don't seem like they were that old. They weren't that old in 2009. I'm doing this wrong or something. Hold on, y'all. That's what it's saying. Okay, so 14 and 12. 14 and 12. They were around that age, and we were, I guess that is about right. 14 and 12, around that age, and we had taken a trip to California, and I was down into a size 6, and I thought, of course you think life is good or whatever, and you're going through things. And so I was running my own business at the time. I ran my own daycare for 6 years. And so I was doing that at the time, and, took the girls, went to California to see some family, and went on a vacation, and feeling like, I'm in the best, shape of my life, and life is going on. Okay. So fast forward to 2014. April of 2014, I left my husband. It had been married for 17 years. And it was just not working out, and it was just time to make a change for me, to get myself together, because after you struggle so long, you can only struggle so long with a person, or go through so long with a person, and it's like I got to do something different, and if I'm gonna live and enjoy my life, I have to do something different, because this is just not working out for me. Constant evictions, lights off, water off, no gas. But folk come get your damn car. You know, it was too much. And in a house, you know, you don't have furniture. You don't have the adequate things that you should have to live. You don't have a refrigerator. You know, your family giving you a washer and dryer. And you got a cooler, a college kid cooler in the kitchen. Okay, yeah. Telling y'all too much my business, you know, as a refrigerator. And it's ridiculous. And you living with a whole grown man who is supposed to be your husband, who is supposed to be taking care of his family. Okay, fast forward from 2009, you know, did what the doctor said do, to 2014, and hey, this is over. I gotta go. So fast forward 2015, divorce is final, and I'm not liking what's going on with me. I have gained weight up to the tune of 222 pounds, and my body is in terrible shape, and I've got to do something. So for the last 5 years, I've been, you know, working on myself and trying to get things together, trying to eat right. Basically, I eat what I want to eat, to really be honest. I eat as healthy as I can eat, but if I want something, I do get it. So I portion control, and I work out 3 to 4 days a week, mostly 4 days a week, no less than 3 a week. And so when Corona hit, okay, fast forward to Corona. When Corona hit, I had been on my weight loss journey for a while, so I'm not really struggling with my weight anymore right now, but hypertension was and is a hereditary thing in my family. And so I have hypertension, you know, I have high blood pressure. And I went in July for my annual checkup, and I started getting these emails from my doctor, and like, we're trying to get in contact with you. We're trying to find out, you know, we need you to do this. She had prescribed me some potassium. My potassium was low. And I finally get a call because I was trying to access the emails and I couldn't. And I finally get a call from the doctor's office, and I had been diagnosed with stage 3 chronic kidney disease. Okay, so last year, everything's fine. This year, coronavirus hit, bam, go for your annual. Oh my, all of a sudden, you have stage 3 chronic kidney disease. And I'm just like, wow, you know, wow. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that news. And then, you know, your white blood cells are extremely low. Extremely low. And I'm sending you to a hematologist. Okay, so now this is serious. Because you know how, you know, I Google stuff. I'm like, stage 3 chronic kidney, what I got to do. And then I'm like, okay, what is this about these white blood cells? And so I'm concerned, of course, because for the last 4, almost 5 years, I have been eating right to the best of my ability, working out, exercising, getting my weight down, finally down now, I can say today, finally down now to 165, and I'm still trying to lose about 5 pounds, but that's just where I want to be, because I feel good at that weight, you know. And so I'm just like, okay, everything happens for a reason, you know. And I was thinking about it, and I was angry when I got that report. I have to be honest, I was very angry. I was upset, and I was like, why? You know, I've been doing this. I've been, you know, exercising. I've been lifting weights. I've lost, you know, down from 222 pounds to 165 pounds. I'm working. I'm trying to get myself together. And now, you know, you get hit with that. And I'm like, wow, okay, cool, whatever. So even when you want something to happen, it's happening for a reason. Okay, so when I went home back in the latter part of March, and you know, it was kind of like a rush thing. We come home and I'm all over my house working, you know, and I'm like, I'm working from home, trying to keep up with stuff at the office and trying to keep up, not very organized. But when I went back to work on June 15th, I was like, you know, I was cool with it. I was like, okay, I'm out here, you know, I'm stay masked up, stay washing my hands, you know, keep my social distancing from people. Not a problem. I can do that. I was probably already doing that before, because I don't like being in a lot of folks' faces. Anyway, so, you know, you're going through that, and then fast forward to July 7th, you get this diagnosis. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to fill out that paperwork to go home and work. I'm going to fill out the paperwork to go home and work because I don't want to be out here possibly putting myself at risk. And even when I went back to work, the co-workers coming in and their family members, have been exposed, but they're coming into the office with you and they're not saying anything. And then they find out, oh, so-and-so tested positive and I've been around them and da-da-da-da. And the office clears out because everybody in the office, we all went and got tested. Because it's like, ma'am, you've been here all week. You've been here all week for the last 2 weeks and haven't said anything about your family member or friend or whoever it was that could possibly have been, exposed to COVID, and you've been around this person. And so, thankfully, got a negative test and then turn right around a couple of weeks later and possibly get exposed again, by a family member. And it's like, really? And so when it got tested that time, I had to call my job and say, hey, I've been a 4th of July weekend. I've been around a family member that has tested positive for COVID. And I just wanted, and I was already off. I was already off work when it happened because I took a couple of days and they just extended the holiday for a longer period of time. And then, I had to quarantine, for an additional 10 days. And so, fine. So you go through that. And let me tell y'all, it's stressful. It's stressful trying to figure out if you got COVID or you don't got COVID and you don't feel good, or is my mind playing tricks on me? All this crap is crazy. So, but I still have to remember that everything happens for a reason. So all of this happens right before I go to the doctor and eventually get diagnosed with this chronic stage 3 chronic kidney disease and then no low white blood cell counts and all of this. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home and work. And I wanted to, come back home anyway. But this time, I turned my paperwork in, and thankfully I did get approved to come home and work, and I'm loving it. Because I get the peaceful time during the day, and I get to not only, do my work duties, but I also, just get time away from the hustle and the bustle, the traffic. Folks driving crazy, don't make no sense. So I get away from that, and I get to work in more of a peaceful setting, contact me by email type setting. So everything happens for a reason. There's no way I could have known that this thing was coming up with this diagnosis. I couldn't have known that. I couldn't have even predicted it because I thought I was in perfect health. And I'm telling you, even when I went to that doctor's visit, she was like, oh my gosh, your blood pressure is perfect. And it's probably due to you, getting a little more weight off. I want you to keep that up and everything looks great. And then you get your labs back and everything blown the hell up. Anyway, but everything happens for a reason. Okay. So the definition of reason is a cause, explanation, or justification for an action or event. Okay, so even though I have this thing, and I have these things going on, I feel fine. I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I'm breaking down or anything. But I have to really say that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So, have you ever thought, well, there was just no damn rhyme or reason for that? And that's what I was thinking when I got that diagnosis. That just didn't make sense. And I told you how I feel about things when it doesn't make sense. It's like, that don't make no sense. Why'd you do that? It just don't make no sense. It's just stupid. And it's irritating. But even those things are happening for a reason. And they're probably happening. So, for me, or for you, if you have that same pet peeve, to just be like, you know what? I'm not even going to get upset about this. They did what they did. Did it make sense? No. But you know what? It's not my fight. I'm going to have to learn how to release that stuff. So it's happening for a reason. And even when something happens and it makes absolutely no sense, it happens for a reason. So I feel like you know, I'm going through this. I'm figuring out this work from home thing again. And I just know that it's happening for a reason. And I was talking to my honey yesterday, and I was going through an old calendar that I have, because I was talking to him and I was like, you know, I need to, he's working on some projects and I'm working on some projects, and we're trying to, you know, get some things together. And he mentioned yesterday, you know, hey, we got to start holding each other accountable. You know, if we're going to get where we want to get, and we're going to get to the space that we want to be in, we got to start holding each other accountable and saying, hey, what'd you do this week? Did you do this? Did you do that? And he mentioned, he said, you need to be putting up 1 to 3 videos a week. And so I'm thinking, like, what? 1 to 3? I was like, that's a lot, you know, because I have to, you know, I have to get my material together, and then I have to do the video, and then I have to go back and critique it. And if it's good, I'm using. If it's not, I was like, oh, I got to record that again. So I was like, 1 to 3. And so I pulled my calendar out, because I had gotten a Happy Planner last year and I really didn't get to use it like I needed to. And so I was kind of redoing the dates, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to refurbish this calendar, and I'm going to this planner, and I'm going to use it because I spent money on that and I really need to use it. And so I was redoing it last night, and I was flipping through and had written some things down. And on April 1st, 2019, it's been over a year, May, June, July, August, it's September now, so almost a year and a half. I wrote down in there 3 things, 3 videos to do a week. And I said that a year ago. And he said it yesterday, and I was like, what? That's too much. Maybe 1, you know, maybe 2. And I was like, wow. So I'm going through that calendar last night, and I said, I wrote this down a year ago. And I had 3 video topics. And Wisdom Wednesday was one of them. So this is Wisdom Wednesday. And everything happens for a reason. He said that yesterday. And I had no clue that I was going to go in that calendar last night and start working on refurbishing that calendar and putting it back in order for me to use it for this year, starting September, starting this month. That was going to be in there, that I had written over a year ago, that I needed to be doing 3 video segments a week. So everything happens for a reason, whether it's pertaining to your health, whether it makes sense or not, whether you want it to happen or not, whether you feel like it's fair or not. Everything happens for a reason. And what we have to do is figure out where we fit in what's happening. And not only where we fit, but we have to figure out, okay, so this is happening. What's the lesson to be learned? And what can I gain out of this situation? You know, even with things look negative and they feel negative, and you feel like, you know, this is not right. This shouldn't be happening to me. Because like I said, I was angry when I got that report from the doctor. But I had to realize everything happened for a reason. It happened for a reason. I was stressed out at work. I was taking my blood pressure at work, and my blood pressure up 149 over 93 and 139 over 100 and something. And I'm like, this is crazy. I can't do this. With what I have going on, I cannot have this kind of stress in my life. And so now I'm like, okay, go home, work from home, take care of yourself, stay away from COVID, and do your work. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense why I was being diagnosed. I didn't want that to happen. However, everything happens for a reason, and I'm right where I need to be doing what I need to do. So just remember, everything happens for a reason. Thank you for joining me on Wisdom Wednesday. And I will be back next week, because I'm gonna be putting up videos Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I'll let y'all know what those segments are. But